All right, so today's character is God. I know I'm a bit ambitious, but that's kind of where we're playing at right now. More to give a little bit more context. Um, this is Randozo, the god of randomness, as you might expect, right? And this is I mean, I wanted to kind of mishmash as many different characteristics as I could. Um, which one thing that despite you'll notice in basically every other video, I tried to not make him look jacked because I don't think that God being jacked makes sense. Because I don't know, I think being jacked implies that you've like overcome a lot of obstacles, right? Like you've pushed yourself to the limits. But like if you're God, why would you have done that? Right? I can understand like a very fat God and I can understand a very skinny God, but like a jacked one? Really? I don't know. I'm not seeing it. Right? So I don't know. I went with a bit of a Roman look for like the sandals and well, I guess Christian Roman. I don't want to say all the same because I've heard it, religion's one of those things where it's like saying they're all the same. I've heard gets you into a little bit of trouble. But like in terms of like the Roman time period, right? Having like the that the, the garb up top and then more of the sandals from them. I also gave him some bracelets just because it seems godly. I gave him one of those like the Aztec kind of things up top. You might be wondering, why am I drawing a bird on the side, right? And isn't like the most classic like bird that would be related to God? Wouldn't that be like Odin's ravens, right? Here's the thing. I think that's kind of stupid. I don't know. I've never been a huge fan of like the ravens thing just because I feel like it's too cool of a bird. It's like it's almost asking to be like because like I feel like you see that around, you're not like you're gonna go in your best behavior because it's just so like definable, right? So in my opinion, I think that God actually uses a pigeon to spy on us. I think that's actually the bird of choice. And so that is, of course, the bird that I chose, right? That's how I had this little god thing come up. Also, I had like the like little face covering, right? I I did that because he doesn't really speak he doesn't speak to people very often, and it covers his ears because he doesn't listen to people very often in the series. Which I mean, you can say that in real life, but I don't know. I'm not trying to start that, but again, that's the kind of the implication for this series and why I designed it that way. The reason why, like more another reason why I chose a pigeon, I guess, is they're like birds that would exist in America and like all around. Because like that's kind of the issue. I don't really see a lot of ravens. See a decent amount of pigeons, right? And so that's kind of why I chose that because first story taking place in America. Which, if you don't know what I'm talking about, check the description below. All of these characters are designed for occasionally overpowered. Right? And you might be saying, why is it called occasionally overpowered? Oh my goodness, it's like this guy's related to it. Basically, the whole hook of the series is that this guy, like, have you ever been playing a game and like you roll some dice and you say, like you like jokingly pray that you get a good roll? Well, basically, the gist of the series is this is the guy you accidentally prayed to, and now because you were praying to get a decent roll. Basically, he gives the main character superpowers because he prayed to him technically, right? And there's like other rationales and reasonings, um, but that's like kind of the initial get, right? And it has some super awesome prophecy that I will not spoil, but that's kind of the hook, right? So stay tuned for that. It'll be pretty freaking awesome. Also, I put way too much effort into the bird. I'm like looking back on it. I put in a lot of effort on making the pigeon look like really good, which it looks good. But it's just like I never put in this much effort into like the other parts of the drawing, and like the bird, I'm just saying, you ask somebody what a pigeon looks like. That's coming up in their brain, right? It's just I don't know. It was very very odd thing to like focus on, like to at least to give that much attention to. But I think I just started drawing it and I was really feeling myself for specifically the pigeon part. Um, as for the throne, didn't feel like designing that one too much, um, just because we see a lot more of, at least the way that I've written the series. You see a lot more of him in pigeon form than you do in god form. There's basically like only like two parts, maybe three, that you'd see him in like god mode. Um, and so I kind of just stuck to pigeon, right? Also, I like the idea that he has like clear eyes. I think that's a fun, I think it's a fun thing, right? I don't know. I feel like pupils kind of ruin that like godly thing, right? Because you don't know if he's watching or not, so you always got to be on best behavior. Stuff like that. Well, I guess he technically is always watching. Is he Santa Claus? Where is he on the level of omniscientness, right? Because I assume Santa Claus is at the top of that list, and like God's like playing like is either fighting for first or second, right? Regardless, again, I think I did a good job at kind of making it feel very very hodgepodged. I didn't because I didn't want it to feel like it was just you know Zeus basically, because that's kind of always I always see God as and like these kind of web comics like that kind of series. It's always just like it's just Zeus, like just kind of ooh spooky all father kind of thing. And so I don't know. I wanted to make mine feel a little more special, just a little bit, just a wee bit. But yeah, so that was the main gist behind my take on what a god of randomness would be. There will be some appearances of other gods in the series, but those will not be ones that I design in this series because I don't want to spoil too much. Uh, Regardless, I do want to thank y'all all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All right, and I will see y'all all in the next video. I still have 4 seconds, 3 seconds. All right, see ya. Bye.